Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm here to bring you the review for the AvP Grid Alien from NECA. One thing to note here is that there were two official releases from NECA of the Grid Alien. One of them was a standalone release that didn't have the translucent dome, and his tail was normal. Then there was a double pack release that came with the battle damage Celtic Predator that you see back there. And that one came with the translucent dome as well as the severed tail. However, as you might note here, I have what seems to be a mishmash of the two. And the reason for that being is that this is the original standard release of the NECA Grid Alien, the standalone one, not the one included in the 2-pack. Do have that Celtic Predator back there. However, you're gonna notice that the tail on my Grid Alien was severed. Well, the reason for that being is that the seller took it upon themselves to customize this figure actually, and they did a pretty good job actually. They severed the Grid Alien's tail piece, included it in there, but also painted on some green paint, similar to how NECA did it themselves. And it looks pretty damn good. Gotta say, not too bad. So with that out of the way, let's get into this review. The Grid Alien was probably the main star of the show when it came to the aliens in AvP, defeating two young blood predators, both Chopper and Celtic Predator, and yeah, unfortunately meeting a demise at the destruction of the pyramid underground. But the Grid Alien was pretty much calling the shots, you know, listening to the Queen's orders, of course. Now, in terms of this figure itself, you're getting the same exact figure, pretty much, more or less, as the warrior that we looked at in the last review. If you haven't checked out that review, definitely check it out here. The link for that will be popping up on the top right-hand corner of the screen. So yeah, pretty much the same exact sculpt. However, there are slight differences here and there. Now, while the regular Xenomorph warrior alien had a translucent dome, the Grid Alien has a solid black dome. That, complete with the grid pattern created by the Predator's net, constricting on the head, thus causing the skull, the dome to bleed, and of course you get some of that battle action on the shoulders as well. Not a big fan of that. I would have much preferred if they released this one with the same translucent style dome as the warrior, so that's something that the 2-pack did address. The only difference being, while the standard Xenomorph warrior had more of a brownish hue to it, the Grid Alien actually has a lighter blue. It helps set Grid apart, and you'll notice that as you look throughout the figure here. So let's just take a look at the head. Of course, the teeth are painted with that metallic paint, as is the inner mouth. You get all that nice biomechanical details on the body as well, with a little bit of some of that organic left over from the Resurrection aliens. Of course, on the shoulders here for the Grid Alien, you're also going to get some of that grid pattern, as it was not just limited to the dome. You also get some of that on the arm too. So that looks good. The arms look great. So yeah, you get that blue wash all along the body of Grid here. The tubing on the back is nice and slender. Once again, a design trait of these Xenomorphs. So he's got this very nice glossy look to him. You'll notice here on the chest of mine, gives a good indication of that blue wash that I'm talking about here. It looks a little splotchy in some areas, so you'll definitely notice it around this rib cage. But overall, it's pretty much the same exact thing. Once again, the tail also has some of that blue paint applied to it to help bring out some of that details, which is always nice. And of course, being that this was modified by the seller, you can see here where the tail was cut off, and thus it was painted with 2 coats of green paint, a lime green as well as a neon green. But if you find this one standalone, most likely he's gonna have his tail attached to him. This is just customization from the seller. Now, when it comes to articulation, Grid here moves and grooves the same exact way that the Xenomorph warrior did. It's the same exact sculpt once again, so you're not really going to get any new surprises here with this guy. Inner mouth comes out as normal, mouth opens and closes, the head has a nice ball joint there. You can get him to move back a bit. Mine popped off because I stressed it, great, but his head seems to stay on a lot better than the Xenomorph warrior does. Arms can rotate. You get a T-pose there if you want. Double bend at the elbow. Swivel at the elbow. Swivel at the wrist as well as the hinge. And of course finger hinge as well. Torso can rotate as well as move back and move forward. And then the legs, of course, kick up, move back a good amount as well. These can spread quite a bit. There is some swivel there at the hip as well for those legs. Double bend at the knee, a swivel at the knee, rotation at the foot, toe hinge, as well as a kick forward and back forward at the ankle, as well as a little bit of ankle rocker, but it's not too noticeable. Rotation at the base of the tail, and of course the entire tail is done on a bendy wire. So overall, articulation wise, Grid performs well. No accessories with this guy, but since he has a severed tail, I guess I can have him hold it like he's about to shank somebody. You wanna go, boy? In terms of size comparisons, here he is with the battle damaged Celtic Predator as well as the Warrior Xenomorph from AvP. Here he is next to the glow-in-the-dark Xenomorph Warrior as well as the NECA Donatello. Here he is next to the Storm Collectibles Sector as well as the PlayArts Kai Commander Shepard. And for my dear Ultraman fans, here he is next to the SH Figure Arts Gudon and Black King. If you're looking to pick up any of the AvP Warriors, I would honestly just wait to see if NECA actually makes any Ultimate versions of these two because it's long overdue. However, if you're looking on the aftermarket and you just got to have one now, then you can't go wrong with either this one or the plain old Xenomorph Warrior. Me personally, I prefer the color aesthetic and the translucent dome of the Xenomorph Warrior, but fans of the series know that the Grid Alien is a pretty popular Xenomorph and definitely worth owning as well. However, if you can, try to track him down in that 2-pack with the battle damaged Celtic Predator, because let's face it, the severed tail and the translucent dome go a long way in making this figure better. So that's it for this review. I hope you guys found it enjoyable and informative. If you did, don't forget the end card that's popping up at the end of the video with ways you can support the channel. And that's pretty much it for this review. Thanks for watching. Collect everything, connect everything. Next up, we'll be reviewing the glow-in-the-dark Xenomorph Warrior. So be on the lookout for that in the coming weeks. Alright everybody, I'll see you all soon. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed and would like to see more videos like this, hitting the like button, sharing the video, commenting, and subscribing will help us defeat the evil algorithm. And if you enjoy video games, I have a dedicated channel just for that, so I hope to see you there.